Well, Leafs lose in overtime and lose the series. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here, but before we get into that, I want to first talk about Ratko Gudas and his despicable display at the end of the game, where he sat there and close up screamed in Wall's face. That is absolutely classless. Wall didn't even react. Good on him. Good for him. If that was me in net, I would have clubbed him for sure. But Wall, kudos to you. You displayed professionalism and not to get rattled. You did all you could. And for Gudas to do that, I hope it comes back at him in the next round. To do something that is absolutely disgusting to see that. It's very unprofessional and very classless. You know, to lose 3 games in a row to start a series, it's a tough climb to come back. So that's just how it goes. There's a lot to say. There's a lot to say. It's kind of strange that the refs can see an overtime over the glass penalty when they get together, but yet none of them can see a high stick on Matthews in the face or a high stick on Marner in the face, or was it Bunting? I think it was Bunting. A high stick on those guys. They can't see the stick being ripped out of the guy's hand, but they can see the over the glass penalty. They were really reluctant. Well, so they now give each team 2 power plays. The Leafs out-hit the Panthers in this game, 63 hits to 49. The Leafs did everything they could. The core 4 isn't strong enough in the playoffs. So that's it. That's the bottom line. Throughout from now until, the next season, I'll be talking about different aspects of the team and how I think they can make it better. First of all, I don't think Dubas is staying. Not that he's getting fired. I think they wanted to offer him a contract even before the playoffs started. But I think he held off because I think his line of thinking was, if we can't get, deep into the playoffs or at least have a good playoff run, he's done all he could. I think that's what he was feeling like, and time for a change kind of thing. So I think that I would be surprised if he stays. I think he's going to leave, and depending on who the Leafs get for GM, it may be a good thing, maybe a bad thing. It really depends on who they get that can work with what they have. There's a few guys that are going to be that I would trade out of the core. Of course, Tavares is you can't touch him. He's got a no move clause. He's off limits, but he's only around for another 2 years. So those will come in subsequent videos. I just wanted to stick to tonight's game and the feeling that everybody has coming off this game. Now, first of all, good game, good series by Florida. They gave the Leafs all they could handle. Yeah, they were opportunistic for sure on their chances. And that just goes to show you that skill in the playoffs isn't everything. You need tenacity and hard work. And that's what the Panthers are. They have a lot of tenacity and hard work. And, there's only a couple of guys with skill. Everybody else is just hardworking and takes and delivers on their assignments. And then you have Bobrovsky in the net that finally showed up to a playoff. First in the first round and now in the second round against the Leafs. Because Bobrovsky, he has been an absolute nightmare in the playoffs, even in the regular season up to this point. So good on him for finally showing up. This is a good run for the Panthers. So now they face Carolina. I've watched, parts of games of Carolina. They're a very fast, hard-hitting team. They work extremely hard. So I think the Panthers are going to be in tough against Carolina for sure. But it'll definitely be a good series to see those two teams go at it. I'm just glad the Bruins are gone, and there's a lot of fans happy that the Leafs are gone too. In the first period, the Leafs didn't look interested at all. And even in the second period, they really didn't look interested. They weren't, they didn't come out flying. Like, you would have thought with your season on the line, and it could be ended at any minute, that you would come out charging with a lot of tenacity, a lot of heavy hits, things like that. Yeah, they did out hit the Panthers, but it wasn't exactly earth shattering. There was a lot of guys that just peeled away from their hits. They should have, started doing that. And I think Achari and a few of the other guys and McCabe started hitting and just got the other team into it, or got the rest of the team into it, I should say. And William Nylander with the heroics to tie the game late in the third period. That was an amazing goal. That was a skilled goal for sure. He is coming into his own, but I don't think he's safe. I don't think he's safe to stay. Just for the fact that he can't get into the corners and rough it up a bit. That's his downfall right there. He's got skill. He can score. He can get around players. I just don't think he has the tenacity and work ethic to get in those corners and win a puck battle, especially at the end of a shift. Because that really tells a lot about a player. If they can go into a corner and win a puck battle at the end of their shift, when they're tired, they can't breathe, their legs are heavy, and still be able to win that puck battle. That really separates a lot of players. Like I said, I'm going to talk about it in other videos. But I think Nylander needs to go, along with Marner, and like Matthews disappears. Yeah, I know he's trying out there, but man, all the crossbars and posts that he's been hitting this series, and it's only going to get harder year after year. How long do you give it? So I think there's got to be a shakeup there, and we got to get a huge power forward that throws his weight around and takes control of these types of games, like a Tom Wilson type of player. Now, not Tom Wilson himself, he's getting older up there, but a player similar to that. That's what the Leafs need. That's what they really need. They need some pushback. So, Wall, he played an outstanding game. And hopefully, looking from how he was ready, right from last game and then this game, big moment for him. Wasn't on him at all. He stepped up big time, and I'm so glad that Toronto finally has a goaltender like Wall for the future. He should be up next season for the entire season for sure. And let's see what he can do. It might be a 1A, 1B type situation again. But they got to maybe, do they keep Samsonov? Maybe. In this series earlier, before he got knocked out, he let in a few soft ones, right? So it's hard to say if they want to keep Samsonov or not. I guess a lot of it depends on his asking price. Now, the rumor, there's no confirmed anything, but people are starting to throw figures around at like 5.2 million. And that's way too much for Samsonov. I think if the Leafs can settle on a 3.2 or 3.5 per season, I think, for 2 or 3 seasons, I think, that would be doable. They could do that, and Wall, those two guys together, Samsonov and Wall, I think that would work. If not, they're going to have to let Samsonov go, and they're going to have to look for somebody else to be with Wall. So, a 1A, 1B type situation to share the games, kind of like Samsonov and Murray did this year. Murray, speaking of Murray, yeah, we got him for a few more years, but I think he's going to Robidas Island for sure. They're going to put him in LTIR, from what I've heard, and he's just going to be gone. The biggest thing now is they need the cap space in order to fix their issues. Anybody from the outside looking in can see the issues. Even the fans can see what the issues are. So if an experienced GM can look at that, he'll know exactly what to do right away to fix this team. So it's important to be selective and really be careful which GM you pick. And from there, the coaching staff, because I think Sheldon is gone if Dubas is gone as well. It was a hard-fought battle. Again, you can't tough road to win a series when you're down 3-0. They made they made a good effort with winning the one game, and the Panthers are just better than them. That's just how it goes. The Leafs didn't choke. They're just, not built for the playoffs. It's quite evident. So when you see all those remarks out there, the Leafs choked, they didn't choke. They played up to their expectations. They played up to the expectations of the players they have in the playoffs. So now they need to fix that. So there wasn't no choking involved. Well, we'll see what they do. I have a lot of content that I want to put out. So I hope that you subscribe and you stick around, because I have a ton of content all summer long that'll be really fun to talk about and to speculate. And then we have the draft this summer. So I'll be talking about that and some of the prospects that the Leafs pick up, as well as some of the prospects on the Marlies that might come up and deserve chances to get a position in the lineup. So we'll talk about that. And maybe I'll talk more about this game, in a couple of days or tomorrow even. Just give it some time to just sink in, and maybe I'll see a little more clearly. But there was a lot of missed calls tonight, so I don't want to give excuses or blame the rest, but there is a point where you call them out for those blatant missed calls. It's too bad. And if the Leafs were more of a pushback team, then they could probably work through that and win anyway, but not with this group. So I want to thank you for watching. Again, subscribe, like the video, and when you subscribe, you'll get notifications for all my subsequent videos that I put out. And like I said, we got some really good content coming out this summer.